Well, the Dukes of Hazzard. You remember. Fast cars, shorty shorts, scrapes with the law. Running that moonshine. Seemed like a pretty good way to spend a Friday night back in the 70s and 80s. At least, that's how them old Warner brothers remembered it. So they cracked the old piggy bank open and made a movie out of it. But why am I telling you this? You just watched the DVD.
It's the car, it's the shorts, it's Boss Hogg, and it's that great thing that Southerners do, this rebellion against the cops with jokes. Like Burt Reynolds did it the best.
I don't know whether I said I took the blame for the Dukes of Hazzard because of Smoking the Bandit. I think I did say I took the credit a couple of times.
Let's get, the wildest two guys we can who if you were in a fight with them, you'd be bummed out because maybe they'd kick your ass. I mean, I could kick Johnny's and Sean's ass, but, somebody else.
It's been the best experience I've ever had working on a film.
It's like having my teeth pulled coming to work.
And let's make sure that car flies and screams around in ways that are new.
I do all the driving. The thing is like, it's one of those things where I said, I should be like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. I should do it all, because I can.
Sure you can, Sean.
And as it turned out, I could actually do better precision driving than some of the best in the world, like world champion drivers.
My name is Reese Millen, current points leader for the Formula D Drift Championship, driver of the General Lee. To put a car into a slide, you're over-inducing your traction that the car has produced to force it into a slide. You're essentially abusing the power that you have, flicking the car into the slide, either initiating it with a turn-in from the steering wheel and then giving it full throttle and essentially backing out once the car breaks traction to control that dynamic, sometimes steering the car more with the throttle than you would with your hands. So given a sustained circle or angle, you could just about drift all day.
Oh, it's not so hard. You just have to turn the wheel one way while you're steering it another. What do you say about the throttle? I'm starting to get a little dizzy. Wasn't there supposed to be a girl in this movie? I feel 14 again.
To get this part, I just had to be really annoying, and I had to call Us Weekly and tell them I already had the part. I had to call In Touch and tell them I already had the part. All the tabloids. I needed to start the rumor that I was Daisy Duke. That way, people would notice me. Actually, I really didn't do that.
That might be a new record.
Oh, look, the big muckety mucks. Let's go check them out.
I'm still trying to figure this joke out. That's happened a couple of times on this movie.
It's part of that, you're reluctantly going along with this.
Yeah, you mean them filming this movie?
Think of what you did when you agreed to do the movie. Play it like that.
Wait, just because I did the screen test means I gotta do the movie? Are you kidding me?
We tricked you into that one.
You don't always know what he's up to. He tends to write a lot of secret pages that he gives out to certain people on the morning of the shoot. He's very tricky.
I mean, I really like what you've done here.
Knoxville never met a joke he liked.
Where's that, Jay? Action!
There was a man from Boston. He owned an American Austin. He had room for his ass and a gallon of gas, and his balls fell out and he lost them.
Willie Nelson is now my angel. I am in love with him. I wish that I could see him every day.
This rockwaller come up and was humping this guy on the leg, and the guy said, "Quit that." And the rockwaller said, "Ah." And the guy said, "Well, hurry up then."
Willie doesn't really, there's not a lot, he doesn't chat a lot. He comes out with one-liners. He'll let you tell a story and then he'll just completely destroy whatever story you just told with one line.
Old buddy Roger Miller told me, he said, it must be true that the longer you live with your pets, the more you look alike. Said, my neighbor come over this morning and chewed me out for in his front yard.
But when he does, it's really sage-like. And then you're like, what does that mean? The pearl is in the river. I think that means he wants to get high.
He throws a lousy punch, by the way. One of the reasons is I don't think he's ever hit anybody. Hit this hand, baby. Ah, that's great. There you go. You got to go all the way through. Go ahead, do it again. That's it. Oh, yeah.
When we first found out the movie was greenlit, I think there was 2,500 stunt guys that all at once said, I got to work on this movie, because we all watched the Journal Lead jump and slide and do everything else.
In the Boar's Nest, we had, I didn't realize this, Billy Gerber came up to me yesterday, and we had Arnold Schwarzenegger's double, we had Stallone's double, we had Brad Pitt's double, Keanu Reeves' double, Matthew McConaughey's double, and Michael Douglas's double. We had some heavy hitters. The Mount Rushmore of stuntmen, I guess.
And action!
Can I get in on this? Yeah, sure. Johnny Knoxville kicks ass in the movie. He trained with this amazing martial artist for like a month and a half, and he just beats the out of a bunch of guys. And I basically just headbutt a bunch of guys. I got this helmet on, and I'm just knocking people in the head a billion times.
I'm riding the safe down the street and it ends up flying through the air, so they brought me down to 2nd Unit tonight to shoot. So I get to ride the safe for, 100 feet or so. It's fun, man. It's like a ride at the fair.
Did it take a lot of convincing to get you to do it?
No, I want to do whatever they'll let me.
Look at Johnny Knoxville putting a real stunt man out of a job.
Oh, you son of a...
Oh. I bet he wants a stunt man now.
Obviously, he has the reputation from Jackass of being willing to do any stunt that's out there, and he says it himself. He's like, for movies, he's happy to wear a cup if he got kicked in the balls, for example, in a movie. But in Jackass, he couldn't wear a cup because that would sort of betray the spirit of the show.
Well, stunts in a movie, you actually have to succeed and do them right. On Jackass, if we succeeded and did them right, we filmed them again until we failed. That's a big difference.
Well, making a movie is kind of like figuring out how to blow up a stolen safe. Use a lot of putty and stand back.
Might be a wet fuse.
Sheev is played by Kevin Heffernan, who played Farva in Super Troopers and Lars in Club Dread.
Jay and I have done a bunch of movies so far, and each time he tries to figure out how to humiliate me.
In Super Troopers, I got him to be naked and covered in powdered sugar.
Got me naked, smeared Vaseline on my body, and then threw powdered sugar all over it. And in the meantime, said it was a closed set, but then invited his entire family to come on that day. So,
when Club Dread came about, he got his revenge by writing the scene where I stand up at a campfire.
You tuck your business between your legs, and then you're nude. And as we sat in the editing room, I tried to get the most revealing shot in there as payback.
But here we are, down in Louisiana, where he's in his briefs with a shaved head and chicken scratch all over his face. And it's 20 degrees, so.
3, 2, 1, go!
Now might be a pretty good time to turn the volume down on your TV. Don't you reckon?
Ain't she a Georgia peach?
Damn, Cooter, what'd you do? Make a deal with the devil?
Cooter's job is to perform miracles. Nothing short of miracles. And you know what? He does it. He's, I don't know, is he a God figure? Is that what they're getting at? Is that the most common of us all have the power of miracle in us? Because what's he do? He takes the general lead.
4, 5, 1, 2,
and
3.
turns it into something heavenly, right? So there's a lot of metaphor in this movie, and yes, Cooter is a Christ figure.
Well, as you can tell, most character actors have a little bit of a screw loose. He isn't the only one who thinks this movie is about him.
Well, I'd say it's a movie about a small-town sheriff who's sensitive but conflicted, gender endangered. He has a hard time with his sexuality. And when he sees them young Duke boys in their tight jeans, he just wants to put them in handcuffs.
What'd I tell you about those character actors?
I told you to shut up. He wants to put them in a jail cell, and he wants to go all Rumsfeld on them, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. That's what the movie's about. It's kind of walking tall for alcoholics.
Now we're getting to the real nitty-gritty. This movie is about moonshine. Sweet marriage wrecking, corn squeezing, warm feeling moonshine. That's what I'm talking about.
Fredericks didn't get his bottles.
There was moonshine all over the set, and the folks were wasted for the most part. Look, this guy here, drunk right now.
I never saw any moonshine, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, he has to say that. He's the producer.
I never saw any moonshine, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep, they were all nipping. J. Sanders Shakar, old Jessica Simpson, that jackass, Stifler, Hooper, Barbarossa, old Leatherface, that naked guy in Sideways, well, that guy, Cornbread, and old Snowball, and
Is that the narrator?
Canned Peaches. Yeah, they were there too.
Well, no, I think, you know, it's a concept.
Look over there. He been drinking since dawn.
Excuse me?
You heard me. Oh, I seen you in your trailer with your little see-through nightie. Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
On your blow-up doll?
You have absolutely no proof of that. And how dare you go into my trailer? What is mine is mine. What an a-hole.
The day had been saved, as they say. Haggard... Sorry, let's do that again.
Hey, I should have narrated this movie. Not Junior Brown. Hell, he can't even say Hazzard. Haggard.
The day had been saved, as they say. Haggard was... Haggard.
Son of a... He's a singer-songwriter. He's no damn actor. I put my time in.
I do recognize this voice. Who is this?
Overpaid jerks.
God?
You see me in the movie? That was me. Holy shit! Got a big laugh in the theater. Mm-hmm. I wrote that. Yeah, that was mine.
Commissioner Hogg has a...
Look at there. I'm even on TV. I was in the original Dukes of Hazzard.
So stay tuned. And while you're waiting,
Hell, I had
wrap
hair.
your ears around this oldie but goodie.
Well, anyway, like I said, I should have been doing the narration, not Junior Brown. Richie Montgomery. That's Richie with a T. Yeah. He got the big movie, and I'm down here stuck in the basement of the DVD making of the movie. Well, ain't that sweet? Nobody ever even watches this stuff, much less gets to the end of it. We through here? I'm about through. Well, I got a little more moonshine. I ain't quite through yet.